Well, we'll see what we have. Welcome to Don Allphin on Fishing. This morning I'm actually going for rainbows, but I might have a few kokanee or two hanging around. But hopefully we'll have a good experience today. Well, there's the first one, and it's a kokanee. That's all right. Nice coke. Nice fish. Go ahead and get him in the live well. Well, that fish came on the exact same bait that have been using for a month or so now, but I was actually going for rainbows because a lot of the kokanee have moved out of this particular area, and rainbows and cutthroats of all sizes have moved in to take their place. So hopefully we'll get a couple of fish on film today, and I'll talk to you about jigging deep rainbows. It's end of August and 2020, and we've got still a week and a half or so to fish for kokanee, but like I said, the rainbows are starting to move in, and I'll focus as soon as the kokanee season ends on the 9th or 10th of September. I'll be focusing on rainbows, on bass, on lake trout, and other kind of species during the fall. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy today's little video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Well, let's see what this one is today. Only been out for about 20 minutes. This is my second fish. Once again, I was hoping for some rainbows, but what I've been getting, there's still some kokanee, which are fantastic. I'm happy to have them, and they're looking good. But yesterday, a lot of the kokanee were not in this particular area. It looked like they'd moved through on their way back to spawn, and so the rainbows and the cutthroats had taken their places. So today we got a new pile of kokanee coming in, so maybe I won't catch rainbow today, but we're gonna have a lot of fun filming anyway. Well, here's another one. I've only been out now for 25 minutes, and got another fish on. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a coke, and oh, it's a big coke. Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous fish. That's a gorgeous fish. My goodness. Look at that baby. Oh my. That's a dandy. I'm gonna over. It's 20 inches. Good job. Nice fish. That's an interesting fish. Nice little cutthroat this morning, first thing. Wow. Beautiful little cut. See if we can get him back in there. Now that one came up and grabbed me just as I pulled up to another school. I don't know what he is, but he sure feels nice. Just feels like a real nice heavy fish. Wow, taking some line even. Oh yeah. Now that's a big rainbow. Now that's a beautiful rainbow. Wow. In fact, it could be a cutthroat. Oh, that's another. Oh, no, that's a rainbow, I think. What a nice fish, though. Look at that baby. Now that is a very fine rainbow. Look at that thing. That is just beautiful. Actually, it's still got a little bit of cutthroat markings. It's a lot of hybrids. Beautiful fish, though, for sure. Well, maybe this is a rainbow. This is feeling like a small fish, and it is. Yeah, got off. That's fantastic. Okay, so what I'm learning so far is that there are still kokanee down there, and you can look down there and see where I just brought that fish to the surface. Those are rainbows. I know they're rainbows. These are still kokanee down there. But the cool thing is that the rainbows will bite really, really quickly. So if you see scattered kokanee down at the bottom and then a little line like this up there, they're smaller rainbows. But mixed in with those little rainbows are big rainbows, 20, 22, 24 inches. There's a nice rainbow. There we go. Now that's a dandy. That fish came at about 43 feet. I'll show you the finder in just a second. But just beautiful, beautiful, thick rainbow. Notice he's got his dorsal fin clipped. But what a nice fish. Get that back there. Just want to show you, this is the difference between looking for rainbows, which you can see all around here, and kokanee. See how helter-skelter they are? This is my jig. These are rainbows that were running around, and then I caught that 20-incher right there in the middle of them. So that gives you an idea of what rainbows do while the kokanee are staging ready to spawn. So once again, when I'm looking for rainbows in and out and around the kokanee, what I try to do is find singles, individuals, and I've found them as high as 20 feet, average depth about 30 feet, and then I'll find them right on the bottom, however deep the bottom is. So right now I just caught the last fish at 43 feet, so I've got two fish that I'm targeting down low. They could be kokanee because this is a staging area for the kokanee to come in and spawn. I'm fishing today in the Sheep Creek area, so you know that Sheep Creek is a major spawning area for cokes. But basically what's going on here is that the fish have to stage, and I think that rainbows and cutthroat and even bass and other trout, I think they smell. I think they understand. They realize that that there's a big spawn going to happen. There's going to be some eggs to eat, and so I think that they want to congregate around them as best they can, waiting for that to happen. So that's the theory that has me looking for rainbows amid kokanee schools, and it hasn't disappointed. You know, yesterday I caught more rainbows than I caught kokanee. Now, of course, you can only catch 3 kokanee a day, and I think I caught and released, I think, may have been close to a dozen rainbows. Some of them were just average size, but others were 20, 22 inches. Well, thanks for watching Don Allphin on fishing today. It's been a fun day. In fact, I filmed this over 2 days just because I was actually after kokanee, but I wanted to just talk about and show you a little bit about this bait. And of course, as many of you have seen my videos the last month, I've been using this chartreuse Kokanator, 1/2 ounce, made by P-line, and I tip it with different colors of corn and sometimes Berkeley maggot. And what I've noticed in the last week is that the kokanee, there have been several other species of fish traveling with the kokanee. There have been smaller rainbows, larger rainbows, cutthroats, sometimes small lake trout, but not too many of those right now. And what I find is that if you fish for a couple of 3 days in a row, what you'll notice is that there are different quantities of kokanee that are stacking up, ready to stage for the spawn. I happen to be fishing in the Sheep Creek area, which is a phenomenal place for them to spawn. And so in probably 8 or 10 different locations in that general area, you find different bunches of fish there. And it's amazing that one day you'll see them all stacked up, and you can tell they're kokanee by the way they run, by the way they look as far as their school. And then the next day you'll see very, very few kokanee and more other species. So that gave me the idea that maybe it would be fun for people who are struggling to catch kokanee to maybe go down and fish those kokanee schools, but not expect to get a kokanee. If you do, fantastic. But if you fish a little bit above, maybe 30 feet, or a little bit below if the school's at 45 to 55 feet and you've got maybe 60 or 65 feet of depth. If you find individual fish up at 30 feet or all the way down to 65 feet or even 70 feet, drop your spoon down. And if they're rainbows, they're going to bite a lot easier right now than the kokanee. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's program, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let your friends know.